Hello, my name is Rieko Ueda. My presentation title is Study Abroad and Culture Frame Switching an Interview Study. First, I'd like to give you the background of this research. In parallel to the increasing number of international students, numerous psychological studies about their learning experiences have been conducted. Some studies have reported that international students display intercultural transformation through study abroad. Intercultural transformation is here defined as transition in behavior and personality due to sojourning abroad experiences. Interestingly, bicultural individuals, such as immigrants and returnees too, exhibit a phenomenon similar to intercultural transformation, called cultural frame switching, in short, CFS. Then, one question came to my mind. Do international students display CFS? Let me explain more about CFS. First, as I have just mentioned, CFS is a phenomenon often observed among bicultural individuals, such as immigrants and returnees. The kind of people can utilize different culture-specific cognitive frames depending on language. So, for example, imagine you had both Japanese and American backgrounds. When you use Japanese, you behave and think as Japanese, while when you use English, you are more American. Next, let me highlight three enablers of the display of CFS: being bicultural, being bilingual, and being unconscious when switching a language and a culture frame. Importantly, these three factors are closely related to each other. Languages and cultures are associated with each other, and when using a different language, the display of different culture frames occurs unconsciously. Based on an assumption that international students, as well as bicultures, can display CFS, this study aimed to provide new insight into the relationship between study abroad and CFS. The research question was, to what degree and in what manner do international students display CFS? To answer this question, I conducted semi-structured interviews with 5 Japanese in their 20s. They all had advanced English proficiency when they returned home, and these participants studied in Anglophone countries for over 2 semesters. Let's move on to the findings. Look at this table. First, all participants developed CFS through study abroad, but I saw the gradation of the display of CFS across the 5 U's. As this table shows, Yui, Daichi, and Taki showed a strong CFS. On the other hand, Yuna displayed a moderate CFS and Fumi showed a weak one. Second, as you can see in the leftmost column, I found 3 key elements for the student to display CFS: cultural immersion, social fit, and language development. Cultural immersion includes intercultural experience not only during study abroad but also before study abroad. All 5 participants satisfied this condition, but I should add an explanation about Yuna. Yuna didn't engage in intercultural experience deeply while her studying abroad, but she had already developed intercultural relationships before studying abroad, so her prior experience to play a major role in her cultural immersion. Social fit is whether students could feel comfortable with both host and home cultures. Yui, Daichi, and Taki were flexible enough to adapt themselves to both home and host society. On the other hand, Yuna and Fumi had felt isolated or uncomfortable in Japan since they were little. Language development indicates whether students could improve English skills through study abroad. 4 participants except Fumi reported they developed their English skills abroad. Importantly, Fumi had already had high English skills before going abroad, so she didn't show language improvement. The main point here is that the more elements students reported, the stronger the participant displayed CFS. Yui, Daichi, and Taki met all conditions, and in fact, their CFS was an unconscious one as well as bicultural one. On the other hand, Yuna and Fumi lacked a few elements. Consequently, their CFS was on a conscious level. Finally, I'm going to summarize the findings. 5 international students displayed CFS through their studying abroad, yet with significant individual differences. I want to pick up 3 significant points of my research here. First, cultural immersion is essential for the display of CFS. All 5 participants met this condition, but as I reported about Yuna, my research shows that prior intercultural experience may too play a role in the display of CFS. Second, language development may be more important than social fit. Compared to Fumi, Yuna displayed stronger CFS. Neither of them felt social fit, and the only difference between them was that Yuna developed her English proficiency, but Fumi didn't. Third, the experience of Yuna and Fumi suggests that CFS can be conscious as well as unconscious. In future research, I would like to analyze a larger dataset to make this research more evidenting. In particular, I hope to dig into conditions necessary for the emergence of the 3 elements conducive to CFS. This is a reference list. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you soon.